Alright, welcome on the show, Kuriki, and thanks for joining me here this evening. Now, again, congratulations, you guys, again, proving to be quite strong, despite some recent roster changes. I'm going to ask this straight up. I mean, this is obviously a bit of a hard question to ask, but do you feel, post the last couple of changes you had, obviously Sing Sing leaving and then Bambo, do you feel Zero as a whole is stronger now? Or, I don't know.
Well, it's normal when you get some new players in a new roster, you need some time to get used to each other. So, since with the old roster we had some gaming time together, I can't say if we are stronger, but changes needed to happen, so it's fine, I guess.
Okay then. Now let's talk about Sven. Obviously he's been a bit of a flavour of the week, really. A lot of teams have been picking him up lately. Do you think like Sven is pretty much going to be the new anti-mage? We're going to see him as the sort of most picked carry from now on?
Well, Sven is a versatile hero, so he's not gonna really replace AM in this sense. He has another role in the game. He's just once he has BKB, he has the fast DPS with the new ulti, the stronger ulti and the cleave. We're gonna see him a lot more now, I guess, but it's still too early to tell because heroes picks gonna keep changing for some more weeks, I guess.
Okay then. Now, game number 2, obviously, Virtus.Pro, they picked up the Sven instead, game number 2, and it did differ a bit to your build. They actually went for the armlet first and then into the assault. Now, do you guys agree with that, or would you ever think that's a particularly viable build? It seemed like Sven was really hurting for that magic immunity.
No, Sven always needs a BKB. Well, and when he didn't have BKB, even in late game, we just picked up Heaven's Halberd and shut him down completely throughout the whole team fight. Sven actually didn't contribute anything in the game. It was more of the Enigma and the Darkseer with all the AoEs they had, the spell damage that kept them in the game for quite some time. So yeah, I don't think this item build is too good. It's too situational. I guess he thought that he was depending on black holes so he can have maximum DPS, but it's too much of utopia thinking. You pretty much always need a BKB.
Yeah, well, you did manage to get quite a few. In fact, I saw Pass with his shurikens. He cancelled quite a few black holes at just the right moment for Black to get off those really, really nasty chronos. But speaking of that, Black definitely is quite a ferocious farmer. Now, I'm going to say, if Black was struggling like to get farm, what would you guys do to try and create breathing room for him?
And this specific game,
yeah.
Well, there's no way that he could struggle since we had Caudle and Resta, and their picks were obvious that they won't put 3 heroes against him on the lane. So, and even if they would have a hard time fighting us since we did have a Caudle. I picked Caudle very early on, so it's very hard to aggressive tri-lane against the Caudle. So he would have either way he would farm. There's no way they could stop his farm.
Okay. Now, obviously, your opponents they picked up Slaughter in the first match. And it seems like they were going for a mass negative armor strat there. They had, of course, the track, the amplify damage, and then the meld hits in there as well. And it looked like Slaughter was doing pretty well for a while. But what do you make of the hero himself? Do you think he's fairly viable, or do you think he's mostly a sideline hero?
Slaughter is a good hero, but right now Dota is you can pretty much pick anything as long as you've got an idea and play it good. It's hard to say. There's some heroes which you always need in your lineup. There's some heroes which are a little bit too strong, like Bad Rider or even Caudle, I think, nowadays. But generally, you can just pick anything and make something out of it, be it Slaughter or anything else. Doesn't matter.
Okay, then. And were you guys worried at all? Because, of course, we've seen Chaos Knight be countered fairly hard by a mass positive armor strategy with Sven's Warcry, amongst other things, being used to basically cut down the amount of damage you could deal. But obviously, their Virtus.Pro's first lineup, they had a lot of negative armor. Did that worry you at all, going into that, and with obviously nullifying the effect of Warcry mostly?
Well, the negative armor didn't even matter because we had too much control heroes, having Magnus and Bad Rider. They would have a hard time actually focusing down Rogue Knight in that case with the minus armor, since I was always ready to jump, and I think they try to go on him all the time, but I countered it with the Magnus ulti, so it didn't matter.
Okay, and obviously Virtus.Pro, they have been shaping up to be one of the stronger teams in this current roster. Now, how confident were you guys going into this match?
Well, we always try to be as confident as possible, but since we started this TPL with 2 death losses, since we got the spot of another team, I think so just treat it more as training games, because it's impossible to win already if you start with 2 losses in this league.
Fair
So
enough.
we're happy to play.
Yeah, same for No Titan. They are also playing there for mostly honor as well as training. But when is your next match coming? Let me see if I can find your next one coming. Actually, no, I can't, because we haven't gone that far on the roster. So I don't know who you're going to be playing against next, but we'll hopefully see you again soon. But again, thanks for coming on the show, Kuroki. Are there any streams or anything you want to give a shout out to, or sponsors?
Well, thanks for watching the games.
Alright, thanks for coming on. We'll see you later.
See ya.
Alright guys, so coming up on, what is it, the 15th, tomorrow night we have nothing at all. I get to go to sleep that evening. On the 16th, the night after, we have Empire versus Virtus.Pro, so make sure you stick around for that one. Obviously, Empire are a hell of a team to beat. They are definitely the #1 team to look out for in Europe, short of Na'Vi, I would say. Also, Pulse. Pulse, I'm going to say this, I love them. They are a very fun team to watch, but they're also somewhat inconsistent. When they get on tilt, they really start flailing about quite hard. But when they're playing well, by God, do they really hit hard. So you really got to watch out for Pulse. If they're playing good, you've got to watch them. So hopefully we'll get some really good games cranked up for them on the 16th. But guys, thanks for watching. I will be going to cut up the VODs now, and then I'll be heading off. So thanks for watching again. But make sure you follow me on Twitter. I'm TriumphantMan on Twitter. If you want to talk to me, feel free to send me a message on that. But otherwise, I'll see you all on the 16th.
fall, immortal shadows sacrifice the sprawl. A man will come to start a fire. Your shining city will become your pyre. Rise from the shadows, make a fist of the pain. Rise from your grief before it grows into your veins. Climb from the prison that you built in your soul. When the night has arisen, then your legends will be whole. Your kings of commerce, your crowns of greed will not protect you when the slaves are freed. Your body broken, your spirit numb, weak and waiting for the end to come. Rise from the shadows, make a fist of the pain. Rise from your grief before it grows into your veins. Climb from the prison that you built in your soul. When the night has arisen, then your legend will be whole. Rise from the agony that pierces your mind. Rise from the stigmas of enigmas you've designed. Rise from the chaos of a world turned to ash. The faces of anarchy